Hello, friends. Motivational strategies and changing trends. Under this podcast series, this is next episode. In the previous podcast, I have discussed the concepts of motivation and how to develop it. There are various theories uh, considering the current era. I did not try to refer the books. The books concepts are there, which you can always check. This is between the discussion between you and me. Okay, so let's elaborate more. In the current AI era, how we define and apply the motivational theories. When we try to define the current era, inadvertently we have to discuss all the previous thing or how the foundation of everything has been created. Since antiquity, people are motivated with something. Even you are doing like a regular thing, not necessary you are going on a mission or some kind of special task. Even you are doing daily normal things. If you do with motivation, things will be different. Trying to differentiate between do it just for doing it, do it with force, do it with fear, or do it with motivation. You will see the symphony, the synchronization, and the resonance when you do things with motivation. Motivation means you liked it. You liked it from your heart. You are doing on your own. You know what you are doing. And then you will get the resonance. That means the best possible frequency of the thing what you are doing. Since antiquity, let's talk about the motivation, which we have already discussed. I will just recap. What are the most scientific principles were built? As I said previously as well, the glittering element, the glistening thing. Yes, that was the most motivational thing. There was iron, bronze, and everything. Copper was there, but that glistening element that was the most motivational. They were trying to turn everything into that glistening element. That's the goal, and that's where most of the chemical principles were established, or people did lots of attributes of elements, compounds, and everything in principle was found. Iron, copper, probably they found accidentally. They are walking on the mines, and then by some way they found it. But try to turn everything into gold was not an accident. It was the motivation, and that's how the modern chemistry was found, and then everything else also started going after that. So the gold rush was not now, it was from that time. But not only gold, I'm going to tell, I have told this example as well. Let's go to the middle of the Pacific. All those Micronesia islands are populated or inhabited since more than 25,000 to 50,000 years ago. The sea level has fluctuated over the period of time. Not that much. Pacific was never that shallow that they crossed or they kayaked there. I mean, they kayaked there, but Pacific was that deep even that time as well. Probably Bering Strait is the one they walk, or uh, in the winter it was like almost connected, but not the Pacific. especially near the equator, all those islands, they are not near. How the people go there? How that time? How they can go in all those islands? They were trying to go for fishing. Was that a motivation? Because there is no fish. I don't think so. Or there was probably not, the gold was not even the motivation. So what was the motivation? That time as well, I told the motivation should be God. You understand? Those people may be trying to find God, but they thought the God's there across the vast ocean. There may be something, Tatam land will be there. There may be the heaven, there may be the God. They may see the God. Otherwise, it's not really possible to explain. We can theorize that, okay, by accident or by wave and by some way, they went there. How they went there, that's what we will explain. Why they went there? Why? Because it's not only one journey. So why? If you see why, that was the theory. Probably they were trying to find something better, greater, most probably greater, because whatever the land they come from, north, east, or west, all the lands were sufficient for their needs at that time, even though there was a famine or any other thing might have happened. Still, whichever way they come from there, there was enough land everywhere. So why they went there, that was the question. Why is the question, not even how. That's the motivation. And that same motivation applies today when we will go beyond Moon and Mars, not Neptune or Pluto, like beyond the solar system, to spread the human culture or humanity, the best beautiful culture we have formed here. When we try to sprinkle all over the universe, that will be the motivation. That same motivation was there like 50,000 years ago. That time the ocean was that vast for them. Okay, so let's come to the current era. What are the different types of motivation we apply, and how we go from here? All the modern motivational theories are developed in last 100 years around. Before that, when the industrialization started or industrial area started, that time the motivational theories mostly got the momentum, and people were trying to see how to increase the efficiency of the workers. So that was always the theme. And there were many different theories, ideas were suggested and were carried out. The modern theories, what we learn, those are generally defined or formulated in last 100 years. So before going to that, I'm going to go to some uh, different concept, and then I will get into that. So what I wanted to discuss is what are those theories in short, and how we are applying in the current era with AI enabled or in the machine learning or artificial intelligence, what we are talking about, how those concepts will be applied here, or how they are relevant here, or are we trying to find something addition to those theories. Okay, so let's talk about it. We may find something we'll add to those theories as well. Okay, so the motivational concept we understood, the goal, God, everything that's understood. Now let's talk about the motivation in different eras. Areas. Let's talk sports or swimming. Michael Phelps, my favorite. He started swimming at age of 4. If you go to some other athletes, Carl Lewis, Flojo, Michael Johnson, anybody, they started 4 to 5 years and then they become legend at like 16, 17, 18, that kind of thing. If you go to chess player, Bobby Fischer to Carlson or Karpov, Kasparov, everybody, they started at the age of 4 to 5. how a child of 4 to 5 years old understands what is motivation or what is Olympics or what is the medal or what are different things. No, 4 to 5 years old child will not understand. That means they have been introduced to their coach by their parents. And the people I mentioned, they listen to their parents. That's the difference. If you ask me, my parents told me so many things, but I never listened. I'm telling you honestly, I would be lazy or I would be doing something else or I wouldn't. What are the great things they wanted me to do in my childhood? If I would have done, oh my God, I would have been so different thing. Same thing. If you go to the next generation, we understand. We try to teach our children, but they try to develop themselves. So there is a theory that okay, do you want to let them develop or you put your ambition in them? So the if you see the cross section, those who listen to their parents and the parents has the right and proper conviction or proper ambition which they want to go in, which they want to put into their child, when that thing gets into like a proper intersection, then we see what's these legends. Correct. So that motivation can be created. Even it might. I mean, what I'm trying to come to the point that it's not necessary you understand and then you get motivated. The motivation can be introduced in you from that time. So according to psychological theories, 1 to 7 years age is the best. At that time, what are the habitual things or not only motivation, everything what you get at that time stays for most of your life. So that's the best time to get into motivation. Okay. So but now let's come to the industrial era now. We we come to that time when we have chosen certain field. So what our motivation? What we want to do? What are our goals? Honestly, do you want to ask me? I never had I mean, goal was not there. Like how things will proceed, where I will try to do things, and wherever I get succeed, I will go there. I never had like kind of a. I never knew what's what I like best or what I want most. Apart from that, I would always like something which I'm not doing. That was the best thing. So I'm doing things, and I would always like that. This is I have observed. This is happens many places. Most of the people never know their goals or they have not decided the goals, or even though they decided the goals, if they find something different or more fascinating, they can change or they will change. And then they keep on moving. When the motivational theories were developed, that was the era like 100 years back. So at that time, one war was over, the other war was about to happen, and next 25 to 30 years, again a devastation happened, and it was the thing was totally different. That era was totally different all over the world. So motivational thing were differently put there at that time. You or anybody at that time had not those many things the way we had now. If we see our parents or grandparents, they were doing in one profession for the entire their life. If you come now, people have done attrition so many times because they see every time they see something different and then they get attracted or they feel that's better. Correct. So the theories were developed like 70, 60, 70 years ago, and now when we apply the things comes different. Today's generation, they not exactly know their goals, or even though know they knew it, they will change, they fluctuate, and they will flow with the current, and they will try to find the things. And so many, the generation gap has become like 5 years for any new things comes every 5 years, new things come. So your goals cannot stay stationary, constant. Apart from that, what we like is not the one we do it. So considering that, I'm going to discuss now the motivational theories. So let's see if we can add something to the theories. That's what I'm trying to see. The arch motivational theories are Maslow's theories and Hertzberg's theories. That's what the mostly we learn. Apart from that, there are multiple other theories are there by different psychologists under different headings, but these three theories are the most one we discuss. So I will try to see and try to fit in the current era what we have. Let's understand Maslow's theory. So Maslow says there is a pyramid, and then we can go from the basic to advanced, and then self-actualization. Then you will produce the best. Absolutely correct. It is absolutely correct. Theory was developed like 70 years ago around that time. So that time it was the industrialization area, things was different. Uh, People, the self-actualization was the concept was developed because there was, as I was explaining, there was the war was just over or about to over, and we need those basic things, and the worker hired will be producing the best when he sees the self-actualization. So he will see those things, and then he will be producing the best. That was the theory. If you go to Hertzberg's theory or theory XY, so it tried to find out what are the demotivators or political factors and what will be the best, and then you will get motivated, or the person will be producing the best. Motivation means he will produce the best, or he will get the best throughput. That's what the mean. There were cultural concepts were there. If you go to East, at that time, Japan, if you see, they were the best in terms of electronics and microchips and the auto industry 60, 70 years ago. They were the most advanced. And their concept of motivation, there those theories are there, but those are largely can be applicable there and were not really getting applicable everywhere, but we could learn so many things from there. Okay, but come to now. Now I'm going to give the examples. So that way my point will be clear. If you go to the companies, current companies, the best blue chip companies, let's go to Apple, Google, Microsoft, or any other you wanted, you can name it. I wanted to do, I have done, I have read a study, so I'm just explaining you from there. If you go to Google, their campus, oh my God, state of art. It's like an arcade. They provide you from transportation to everything. Best. You are not congested anywhere. When you go there, all the facilities will be provided at the workplace. So this is pre-COVID I'm talking. So people were doing their work from home concept was not prominent. People will be has to go to work, and the workplace was so cozy. Everything was provided, right? All the facilities were provided. What you name it, the perks and the compensation, best. You once do the study if you like. But what was the attrition rate? Attrition rate means people come and go. Not too different. Now we have to explain the theory. If we had a Maslow's theory, then anybody would be self-actualized in this. When they come here, they won't, I mean, they would be self-actualized. Unless there is a cost cutting and anything, that's different thing. But if somebody stays there, they should be self-actualized according to this theory. Their compensation as well as the review, performance review, state of art, everything is transparent. So the political and all the other things were also addressed. So even theory X, theory Y, or whatever pyramid stage of pyramid you go, it should be complete as per that theory. But attrition is same, and not for any other thing. People left because they started a startup. They attrition because they started a startup and they created a new product. They sold it to Google at the end. Now explain how this happens. When you go to startup of any kind, that means the security and all that basic things gone, because startup means it could be a bet and it can go anywhere. Possibly it's not, there is no given. Politics and everything will be the most in startup cases, because if you go well with, if you are founder and 3 4 people, then if you are going well, good, not, it won't, isn't it? So all the theory, but still people do that, and they are, it's not one to many cases. They attrition from here to there. They tell Google that you hired me for this part of the brain. If I have more than that, then I'm going to go startup and then I will sell it to you. And that they concept, that's what they see. Those the new concept, that's what it was accepted. So where this fit into motivational theories, how those people get motivated. There are different theories will explain, like they want, somebody want to do something, what, not necessarily the first 5 are satisfied and then self-actualization. They just wanted to do something. In that theory, it fits. There are some other theories are there, but the most prominent theories what were developed cannot fit now. Correct. Again, and apart from that, not necessarily you have to go to startup or anything. People, as I said, they like what you are not doing. Like that, I like. You are doing this, but they like that, because we have so many. Today's era has so many options which were not there when the theories were developed. So, according to my understanding or my thesis, I suggest those theories need to be reevaluated considering the current era. Theories are perfect, but we have to add the corollaries, given under this condition, under this condition. Even the basic factors are not there. Somebody may be very ambitious. We have seen like a somebody very, those who are successful not came from, like they were not the heir to Sam Walton. They were very normal people and they betted their entire thing for their ambition. The way they successful, that was not the theory was explaining. And there are many of them are there. Earlier, that kind of success was possible only probably in betting or in sudden rise and fall of share market, was that kind of people will go up and down. Is it possible like you have to develop a Ford plant and then become successful? Cannot, because to develop the plant, then operate, and then sales go up and down in the consumer market, it will go with its own pace. The way we see the current industry has going up in certain areas, which was not theorized or anticipated when those theories were formed. So you got it, what I'm trying to say. So those theories are correct, absolutely. I mean, there's no question about it, but those corollaries needs to be added, which I'm suggesting. If you like it, let me know. Once we are in the AI, artificial intelligence, that means in next 5 years, we have to envision next 5 years, they are going to do the bioengineering. They are going to create a humans. They are going to human machine interface will happen. So for motivation, they can place a motivator or like a motivation engine in your somewhere, which will guide you. That's possible. So the way we are trying to rely on our biological brain, that may not be the case after 5 to 10 years or probably more. The brick and mortar schools, maybe we don't know. We already we already see the brick and mortar stores as not not that prominent anymore, or brick and mortar financial institution. No, they are all online. Education is online, but still brick and mortar things are there, which can be removed by putting the computer brain computer interface or human machine interface, which will take place. That is going to change the motivation theories. So we have to consider that when we go to the AI world, all those new concepts will be applicable. That was the purpose of today's episode. Motivation theories, how they change in the current era. If you like it, let me know. Thank you.